Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman here with the Strat-O-Matic Network. And we are on September 21, once again, still. And we have the Washington Senators at the Cleveland Tribe. I'm still in the process of putting in these lineups, so if you bear with me and I don't see your text in the next few minutes, please understand. As you can see, I have not yet put in for Cleveland. Let me go ahead and do that. There. Now all I got to do is put in the fielding ratings, set up the lineups, and we'll be all set. It's going to be Coleman for Washington and Stan Williams for Cleveland. And I'm so glad to have you join us and join me. Demos, happy birthday. Oh, is it H.D. Jackson's birthday? I didn't know that. Of course, it would have been nice if I set this up before the game, the broadcast, but I don't know, maybe there's a part of me that likes doing it this way. Sometimes. I usually have it set up. Wow. So that makes him 78 years old. "78 years old." The big man should hit one for him, yes. Yeah, well, it is interesting to see how people set up their games. Everyone has their own style. like you say, however you choose to play. Harrelson, Horton. Good morning to Kathy. That's one advantage of doing it this way. You get to see how I set this up. I suppose that's one advantage. We throw the fielding ratings in here. So glad that you've all chose to join us here. Coleman really has been something. He's won 17 on the season. He won 12 in real world. I'm going to go through the lineups, and then I'm going to take a break for about 2 or 3 minutes just so I can get myself oriented here. For the Senators, it'll be Del Unser in center, Lee May in right, big man Frank Howard in left, Mike Epstein, the cleanup hitter at first, Ken McMullen at third, Bernie Allen at second, Steady Eddie Brinkman at short, Jim French the catcher, and Joe Coleman, the pitcher, with 17 wins. The Senators come in 500, 76 and 76. They're mathematically, the Senators won 4-1 on a Lee May grand slam. 4-, I have it 4-3. I have it 4-3. I don't know if we're looking at the same. I don't know if we're looking at the same demos, the same. I'm looking here. I have it as 4-3. And okay. This actually, Cleveland won 4-3. No problem, demos. For the Cleveland Tribe, it's Jose Cardinal, and they're in dead last. Jose in center, Baker in left, Sims catching, Harrelson in right, Tony Horton at first, Luke Klimchuk at third, Eddie Leon at short, Dave Nelson at second, and it'll be Stan Williams, who's won 2 on the year. Lord. And that's the lineup. Oh, you looked at 926. 926. Yeah. Oh, okay. And they play Cleveland again at home. Okay. And I'm going to take a little break here, and when I come back, we'll be ready to play some baseball. I'm Jeffrey Guterman. This is the Strat-O-Matic Network. We're getting ready. I just want to let you know that there's a very good chance that I'm going to get a phone call and/or have to end the broadcast before this game is concluded. I have a special, difficult day ahead of me. Early this afternoon. So just letting you know that, and the reason why I'm doing this game is just to keep my mind off things. We have stacking here. Stack is for the Senators. And we are in Cleveland, and Stan Williams takes the mound. Williams, a right-hander. And leading it off for the Senators is Del Unser. Unser, left-handed hitter. Okay, Williams is ready. And oh, that's a re-roll. All right, smoke it, baby. That's a 6-11. Left-handed. There is a slash. Ballpark slash. 6-11 against the left-hander. This is in Cleveland. It's a 5. And that will go through for a base hit. Home runs don't fly out so easy here in Cleveland. But that one went through for a single. Unser leads it off with a single off Williams. One to 15. He gets the lead automatically unless he's held. 1 to 15. He is being held. So Unser is on first. Being held. A 1 to 11. That'll put the brakes on him. Well, he doesn't even have a lead. You know. We're not even going to try for the lead with that 7 out. He's being held. Here's Lee May now. Unser with a short lead. Off first. And here's the pitch to May. That's 3-11. Left-handed, that's another slash. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking on Williams' card. 3-11 against the right-hander. It's a grounder to short. They'll force Unser. I assume even though he's being held, he is forced. And that'll be 1 out with May on first. And here's big man Frank Howard. It's H.D. Jackson's real world birthday, I learned from demos. And he leads Major League Baseball with 55 home runs. Howard with 50. He's in second place in the American League. And we welcome you, Bob. Welcome, Bob. Here's Howard now. And the pitch from Williams. 5-6, right-handed, grounds to third, and that'll be a double play. Klimchak to Nelson to Horton, or however you choose to score that. It was a 5-6 right-handed ground ball third, double play, no runs, one hit, none left. And we've gone a half. It's Washington nothing, and the Tribe is coming up. Here's Joel Coleman now. He has won 17 games. Amazing. He was 12 and 13. Too bad I don't have his losses. I just don't have the time to do stats, so I opted for the novelty to do wins for pitchers and home runs for batters. Otherwise, we are meticulous about the, of course, the standings, which is the most important statistic of all. Okay, Coleman is taking his warm-ups. He's ready now. Here's Jose Cardinal to lead it off. This is the second of a two-game series. Cleveland won the first game. It was an extra inning game. Here's the pitch to Cardinal. That's 5-7 right-handed, fly ball center field. For Unser, he makes the catch, and that's one away. Now here's Frank Baker. Baker, the left fielder, he bats left-handed. And the pitch from Coleman. 5-4, left-handed, catcher X. It's our first X today. That'll be French, a 3-4. It's popped up in front of the plate. He's an E4, 6'11", 12, and he makes the catch. French with the catch. Yeah, I replied to you, Frank. I saw your comment. Did you see my reply, Frank? Did you see my reply? When there is a diamond home run, anything after this is ignored, and you go right to the chart. You go read it now, Frank, if you will. Go read it, because that was a home run by. Do you want me to put it up here for for people to see? Here's Duke Sims. Two outs, nobody on. Coleman. and it's 6-8 left-handed, and that is a base hit by Sims, a 2-out single. If you want, after this inning, I will review your comment and my reply. Okay? But go take a look at it. 6-8 left-handed, and that is a base hit. Sims is on, not being held, and here's Hawk Harrelson now. Okay, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Frank, we're always learning. We're always learning. Here's Hawk Harrelson now. Here's Coleman, and the pitch to Hawk. And that's a 6-9 right-handed, and he grounds it to third for McMullen. He fields it and throws it to Epstein, and the side is retired. I'm open to, noting when I make errors, I make them. So the side is retired. It's no runs. It's the single by Sims left on. We've gone one. It's scoreless here. And here's Stan Williams to face the Senators. It'll be Epstein, McMullen, and Bernie Allen. Mike Epstein. Left-handed hitter. Williams is ready. And the pitch, it's 3-10 right-handed. You see, there's a ballpark blast, Frank. We ignore this. Okay? It's a 3-10 right-handed. Epstein has the power, of course. 3-10. That may not go. It's left-handed. In Washington. No. It's a fly ball to right. Caught by Harrelson at the warning track. And that'll be one away, you see. That was an example. 3-10 right-handed diamond. I call it a ballpark blast. Ignore everything else. Make sure they have the end power. No problem, you're welcome. And I like to just double check. It is a fly out to right. So that's one out. Here's Ken McMullen now. And Kathy has a question, top of the third. Beautiful. Here's Stan Williams now. The windup and the pitch to McMullen. That's 1-2 right-handed, and that's going to be a base hit for McMullen. A 1-2 right-handed. Single. with 1 out, not being held. And here's Bernie Allen now. Fuck is that? That's a dot. Got to be careful with that. Some dirt got over that and obscured that fatigue dot. Okay, McMullen on first, 1 out. Here's Bernie Allen now. It's 210 right-handed. There's a slash. Left-handed hitter. That's a 10. And it goes through for a base hit. So 2 straight singles off of Williams. McMullen goes to second and holds. And here's Eddie Brinkman now. First and second, 1 down. Oh, okay, Williams. Steady Eddie at the plate with 1 out, first and second. Here's the pitch. That's 5-9. Right-handed, grounds to short axe. That'll be Eddie Leon, a 438. Those 4s go all day long. All day. 15-4, well, it's a G2. He gets to it. Let's see if he can throw him out. E38, uh-oh, that's a high number, 6-11-15. I think that's going to be an error. No, look at that, 6-11-15. It's going to be a G2 with a first and second. And they'll force, Eddie Leon forces Bernie Allen at second for the second out. McMullen goes to third and Brinkman is safe at first. Decent play there by Eddie Leon. First and third, 2 outs. And here's Jim French now in a clutch situation here. Stan Williams trying to get out of this. Here's the pitch to French. That is a 5-6 left-handed. He pops it up to first, and Horton is under it. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs. 2 hits, 2 left. And Williams gets out of that pretty well. We are in the middle of the second, and it's scoreless. We have a question top of the third. Tony Horton to lead it off against Joe Coleman, going for his 18th win of the season. plug this in here. Oh. That way, no problems. There we go. Okay, Horton leading off for Cleveland. Bottom of the second, no score. Coleman on the mound for Washington. Here's the pitch to Horton. 4-5, that's right-handed. He struck him out. And that's Coleman's first strikeout of the day. Now here's Lou Klimchak, left-handed hitter. Stay tuned, we have a question coming up here after this inning. Okay, Coleman is ready. Here's the pitch to Klimchak. 1-8, right-handed. He grounds it to short. That's for Eddie Brinkman. And he throws it over to Epstein, 2 away now. And now Eddie Leon. 2 outs, nobody on. Coleman now into his windup. And the pitch to Leon. That's going to be 5-8, right-handed. Oh, there is a base hit by Eddie. Off Coleman. It was 5-8, right-handed, 1-1. It's a base hit. Eddie is on. With 2 outs. Went to 14. Borderline cool, being held. 13 and 14s without leads or holds are generally, after you do the quotient, is generally a borderline where I roll for it. 1, 2, and 3 held, 4, 5, and 6 not held. 2 outs, Eddie Leon on first, and it's Dave Nelson now. Here's the pitch from Coleman. 6-11, right-handed, fly ball right X. That's going to be from May. He's a 4. This could be trouble now. 6-11, right-handed, fly ball right May, 4-15. .415, 5-4, it's going to be a single. Advance 2. And he is a 15. That's a 6-11, 12. Oh, and it's a 2-base error. My goodness. A single and a 2-base error. Again, he is a Lee May, an E15 in right. That's 6-11, 12. And there it is, E2, S2, E2. S2, E2. Single error, batted a third, and Leon scores. Guess you call it a two-base error, and I guess we would call that unearned, but you know, it's kind of hard for me to figure it. Fortunately, I'm not keeping that stat. It was an S2, E2, single and an error, batted a third, all runners score. So huge error by Lee May. I guess we would call it unearned with 2 outs. The only thing is that wouldn't have been a third out, but he still scored. The only chance is if Williams gets a hit or something, then it wouldn't be unearned. But I'm not terribly worried about it. Here's Stan Williams now. It's Nelson on third, 2 outs. Pitch from Coleman. 2-7, and he struck him out. And that's the second for Coleman, and the side is retired. So, you know, I guess the judgment would be without the error, and it was a 2-base error, Leon would never have scored. And then you'd have the strikeout, so it is unearned. That's at least my interpretation. That's 1 run on 2 hits, the huge error by Lee May, 1 left on, Nelson at third. It's 1-0 after 2, and now I ask you, please, to give your full attention here to Kathy for her question. Question 1 of the day. Wait for it now. Here it is. These 2 men, left-handers, from different eras, both won 20 games in the AL and the NL. Name them. Left-handers. Whoa. Dickey. Frank. Koosman is a good answer, but which Dickey? Holy cow. R.A. Dickey. Whoa. Never heard of him. Maybe I did. Oh, okay. He's a more current player. Retired. Dickey is wrong, so we give you half credit, Frank. I have no more Mike and Ikes, and I have no more nothing. I have really nothing here. Well, that was a good guess, Koosman. Wow. Terrific guess there. Anyone have a second guess? Left-hander. Both leagues. Frank Viola. Wow. I remember Frank Viola was on the Twins. I had no idea he was even on an NL team. Super question for Kathy Harden. And we, of course, will give Frank half credit, I assume. And that's kind of what we do here on the Strat-O-Matic network. We share interesting trivia, and it's not always related to It's not always related to baseball, let alone sports. Sometimes it's just history, culture, and things like that. And we move on to the top of the third. Here's Coleman now. It's 1-0 Cleveland. I'm sorry, Williams. Frank does get credit. That was a great guess, Kuzman. Was it on the Twins he won 20? I remember he was traded to Minnesota. I've got to be strong. Oh, I try to be strong. Here's Joe Coleman to lead it off. Top of the third. And it was a great question. It was a Kuzman Viola question. The Twins, okay. Here's Coleman leading it off. Williams the windup and the pitch to up. He's a 1. Sometimes that happens. I'll put the card on the wrong side. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yes, he is a 1. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here's the pitch. That's 5-7. Right-handed, grounds to second X. For Nelson, a 330. It's a G2. E30 though. 5-8-10. And he throws him out. So Coleman is retired. Nice play by Nelson. And here's Del Unser. Unser singled and was forced in the first. Here's Williams now. The pitch to Unser. 2-7 right-handed. He walked him. So Unser is on. 24 wins. Wow. That's a lot of wins. That's back when pitchers were still pitching a lot. Huh? And he won 20 in 79, Kuzman. Kuzman, boy, I tell you, his career. So Unser is on. He'll be held again. And makes him a 1-15. 1-11 with a lead. Even with a lead. So he's being held. Here's Lee May now. I remember Frank Viola. Okay, here's May. Reached on a force and then was doubled up on the ground ball by Howard. From the stretch, Williams. 2-5 right-handed, base hit. 2 asteroids. Unser goes to third. It was a 2-5 single 2 asteroids. And Senators have something going, first and third one out for the big man. And with Epstein on deck, they'll face they'll pitch to the big man. First and third one down. Here's Howard. Infield is back. And the pitch from Williams. 3-6. And that is a non-clutch single to left field. No asteroids. Unser scores to tie up the ball game. May has a chance to stretch it. There was a runner being held. He's 1-14. Left field, 1-15. And being held 1-14. We'll let him sit at second there and hold with Big Mike Epstein coming up. So Howard with a single. It is first and second, one, still only one out. One is in. And it's Mike Epstein at the plate, left-handed hitter. He flew to right almost. There was a ballpark blast right before the warning track caught by Harrelson in the second. Here's the pitch to Epstein. That's a 1-6. He struck him out. And that'll be 2 away. First strikeout for Williams. And now it's Ken McMullen. Super Jew, Frank. Super Jew. Today, some people would consider that inappropriate, offensive. I don't think so. You gotta lighten up. I'm Jewish, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I have any authoritative opinion, but it was a You didn't know what his nickname was, Frank? Or is that a trivia question? If it's a trivia question, I'll write it down. Okay. Here's McMullen with 2 outs. This is a clutch situation. It was a trivia question. Okay. Am I right? Thank you, Frank. 2 outs, first and second. Here's McMullen now. And the pitch from Williams. Clutch situation. That's 112, right-handed. Oh, boy, clutch situation. That's a reversal. It's popped up. How do you like that? And Eddie Leon will make the catch. That's one case in Strat-O-Matic where you have to pick who who gets it. Uh, but look at that. It was a 112 right-handed in a clutch situation, of course, with 2 outs. And there's your clutch, and that's going to be reversed into what Strat-O-Matic calls a pop-out. And the side is retired. There was a run, though. And it is a 1-1 ball game. We're gonna go through the bottom of the 3rd here, then I'll take a break. It's Joe Coleman of 2 or 3 minutes, as usual. Here's Coleman now. He allowed what I think is an unearned run in the 2nd. It's a 1-1 game. Top of the order, Jose Cardinal. Here's Coleman. And the pitch, 1-4, and there's a base hit to lead it off for Jose. Now he's a threat. He'll definitely be held. Look at him, 1-19. It's a 1-4 base hit. 1-19, 1-20, and then first of all, he's going to be held. That's the first thing. Then with the hold, he's a 1-19, 1-20, and then a 1-18 with the lead. 1-18 with the lead, so he certainly is going to try to get the lead here. 2-5 and 12. And it is, he gets the lead. Well, that's, Frank, if I can remember, I'll speak to that. I just want to finish this play. Jose is going to be going 1-19, 1-20, and a 1-. Oh, God. 1-20, 1-18. And he's certainly going to go. So here's Frank Baker. And he's safe. So Jose Cardinal swipes 2nd quite easily. He's in scoring position with nobody out. And here's Frank Baker at the plate. Well, in your old age, there's sort of an irony in human knowledge, Frank, that I've supposed, and that is the more we know, the more we realize we don't know. Okay. And I could go through some examples, but I don't want to bore you all with it. I do have a tripartite example, but I don't want to bore you all with it. So let's continue this game. It's Jose Cardinal on 2nd with no outs. And here's Baker now. Coleman from the stretch. 1-3 right-handed, grounds it to short, A, with the runner on second. Wow, it's a 1-3 hit to short, so the runner will hold. So it's a ground out to Steady Eddie Brinkman with Cardinal holding. The more I know, the less I understand. Yes, there you go. It's one out, it's Cardinal in scoring position, and here's Duke Sims, the dangerous Duke Sims. Here's Coleman now. It's 5'11", left-handed. Oh, there's a blast. And he's got the power. Oh, my. Oh, Lord. 5'11", and home run, ballpark blast against the left-hander on a 5'11". And Duke has the power. Told you he had power. It's going to be a 5. That looks like it's going to sail out of here. He's a left-handed hitter, and it does. Oh, it's a big ballpark, but I guess the right field fence is a little closer. So it is a home run, a 5 on the 20 die. And that's a 2-run home run for Duke Sims off of Coleman. I think Sims had something like 27 home runs or something. 18, okay. 27 must be Horton. Fantastic. Yeah, that was a powerhouse team, that 73 team. Wasn't Ralph Garr also on that team? I hope you all can make it, if possible. For Duke Sims, that's number 23 on the season. A young Dusty Baker. Garr was just almost otherworldly. I don't know how long he played at that clip, but what did he hit? 340 something? Or, I mean, he was just like from another world. You know? So it's 3-1 now. And here's Hawk Harrelson. Tommy John versus Karl Morton. Tommy John for the Dodgers and Morton. Yeah, that was the year that Dave Johnson hit something like 43 home runs. I said, what the hell? They just flew off his bat. Here's Hawk Harrelson with 1 out. Here's Coleman. That's 1-9 right-handed, and he grounds it to second. And Bernie Allen throws him out, 2 away. And now Tony Horton. Here's Coleman. 1-7, and he struck him out. And that is the side. And I need to take a break for about 5 to 7 minutes, folks. There's something personal I need to do. It's a 3-1 game. It's the 2-run home run by Sims. We've gone 3. I'm so sorry for the delay. But I will be back very quickly. Thank you. I'm going to tell you something, Frank. In response to your profundity, you say, and I'll be ready in just a few minutes. I know that took a little longer than usual. If we go the complete cycle, it seems to be a competent adequacy, bookended by an infantile helplessness. I gotta tell you something, Frank. Now, I know I'm not the only one. I asked my sister, she said she thinks about her mortality. She's 65, I'm sorry. I'm 66. I said, do you think about it every day? She says, well, not every day. I don't know if the word would be dismayed. I think I'm terribly disappointed. Sometimes to the fact of depression. That our lives have to end. My mother is in hospice. That's where I'm at. When you're young, you don't really think, or I didn't really think too much about death and dying. You know, I never really even thought about when I was say a 15, 16, 17, I never thought too much about even being 30 or 40. I know people say life is a gift, let's enjoy it while it lasts. And I think there's truth to that, but nevertheless, I'm so sorry, Frank. Nevertheless, I am terribly dismayed. Thank you, Frank. I will be back. I know this was an extended break, but I had to do something that absolutely had to be done. And I will be back in just a few minutes now to continue this game. And on top of that, Frank, you say depression and aging go hand in hand. Not necessarily. For many people, yes, but for some, no. So it does. You follow? So it's a bit of a generalization, or we should say over. But there are plenty of people who are depressed, and it can be related to just aging in general. It could be related to physical problems, pain, a lot of things. Thank you for your patience, folks. It was just some issues that I had to take care of here right now. We're back. It's 3-1 Cleveland. And boy, those of you who have stuck around, are you a bunch of patient people? Some of you. I see some have left, but I understand. 3-1 Cleveland on the 2-run home run by Duke Sims. And here's Stan Williams in the top of the fourth. Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Frank. Here's Bernie Allen now. And again, I could get interrupted any time with a phone call from my son, based on something I have to do today. Okay, here's Williams now. The pitch to Allen. 6'10" left-handed, that's a slash. I don't think that's going through left-handed. 16. Yes, it does. Just gets by. And that's the second base hit for Bernie Allen today. 1-15. Without a lead. With a lead. He'll be held. On a 1-15 for sure. And here comes Eddie Brinkman now. Thank you, Frank. This is about all I have here. Strat-O-Matic on YouTube. I have my sister, I have my son and daughter-in-law, but they're not with me all the time. Here's Brinkman now. Allen on first being held. Here's Williams. 6'5", right-handed. That's a fly to right field for Hawk Harrelson. He makes the catch. It's one away. And Bernie comes back to first. That's one out now. And here's Jim French. And the pitch to French. 3-5 right-handed. There is a drive hit out deep into the gap, right field. And Harrelson can't get to it. It's rolling. And French rounding second comes into third with a triple. And Bernie Allen scores. And that makes it a 3-2 ball game. A 3-5 on French against the right-hander. Triple 1-4. Well, it was a 2. A big triple there. And here's Coleman. French on third, 1 out. Here's Williams now. Pitch to Coleman, 6-8 right-handed, and that is a liner to third caught by Klimchak. 2 outs. It's a 6-8 right-handed. And now Del Unser singled and forced, walked and scored. This is a clutch situation. And Del Unser in a clutch situation now. Looking at his card against the right-hander, he has no clutch factor there. Interesting how that is so sometimes, isn't it? Why someone does not have a clutch roll. Nevertheless, it is a clutch situation. Here's Williams and the pitch to Unser. 4-3, left-handed, and that's a base hit by Unser. French scores to tie up this ball game. So Williams in trouble here. Ellsworth pitched in real world in this game. Unser is on. He's being held again. 2 runs in. It's now a 3-3 game again. Tied up again. Here's Lee May now. May 1 for 2. Unser on first being held. 2 outs. For 6, left-handed, and he struck him out. Boy, I'm glad he did that because I had no interest in thinking about whether I should bring somebody in or not. The side is finally retired on a 4-6 strikeout. 2 runs. And it is a 3-3 ball game here. And we're heading out of the bottom of the 4th. Stan Williams. It's all tied up here. Williams' first endurance is next inning, the 6th. Coleman's is the 7th. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Did I have the wrong frickin'... I had Williams pitching, yeah. I had Williams pitching, yeah. Oh, sometimes that's my worst nightmare in Strat-O-Matic, if I have the wrong pitcher pitching. But I didn't. I just went back and I see I have Williams was pitching. That's my worst nightmare. I think that's why they should have different colors or something by team. You know? Some way to give us a heads up here, but you got to be very, very careful. It will be Coleman coming in now to pitch. I had it right though. Here's Lou Klimchak. Okay, here's Coleman. He's ready. The pitch to Klimchak. That is 6-8, left-handed, and that is a grounder to first. Oh, stopped by Epstein. And he throws to Coleman covering the bag. It was a 6-8 left-handed. Single 1-10, grounder to first. It was an 18, 1 out. And here's Eddie Leon. Eddie singled and scored what I think is that unearned run in the 2nd. Here's Leon now. The pitch from Coleman. .612 right-handed, grounds it back to Coleman. He's at 212. (18-2) gets it on a G1. He is an E12. 6-10-12. Uh-oh. Oh, and he boots it. I had a feeling about that.
A G1, sometimes you can just smell it. A G1, E1, an error by Coleman. And that is the second error for the Senators today. The first was the two-base error by Lee May out and right. Here's Dave Nelson now. Eddie Leon on first. 1-14, not being held with a lead. It's such a close call, you know. We just let the dice. He's not being held. Let the dice decide on 13s and 14s. That's the way I do it. Because I can't play both sides of the fence in some aspects of solo Strat-O-Matic. So Leon on first, not being held. Now he has the lead. He does not have the lead. 1-13, 1-14. Not even worth going for it, in my opinion. I'm kind of conservative. Here's Dave Nelson. 3-8, and he struck him out. That was such a close call, by the way, to hold him or not. That's the fourth strikeout for Coleman. 3-8, 2 outs, and Williams will hit. Williams struck out in the second. Here's Coleman now. And the pitch to Williams. 5-7. Right-handed. Fly ball center field. This should end the inning. Unser is under it, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. It's no runs, no hits, the error by Coleman, left on base. And we've gone 4, it's 3-3. Okay, Williams now. In the 5th inning here. His first endurance is next inning. It's going to be big man Howard, top of the 5th. Okay, here's Williams. Howard is 1 for 2. The windup and the pitch. That's 5-7 right-handed, and he grounds it to second X. That's for Nelson, 330. .330, 11-3, G2 gets to it. He's an E30, 5'9", 11, and he throws him out. Nice play by Dave Nelson. Didn't he go on to be a solid player for the Rangers? Am I thinking of a different Dave Nelson? Here's Mike Epstein. Epstein 0 for 2. He hit a long fly to right and struck out. Oh. Okay, Epstein facing Williams. Here's the pitch. 3-6. It's hit well into the gap for a double by Epstein. A one-out double on a 3-6 right-handed. And he's the go-ahead run on second. Here's Ken McMullen. There's action in it's Ellsworth. Warming for Cleveland. Hold on. Let me finish this half inning. I've just been notified by my son. He's going to be here at around the top of the hour. And I'll continue this ball game at another time. I am so sorry. Here's McMullen now. Five seven right-handed, grounds to second X. Again, that will be Nelson. 330. He gets to it, G3, E30, 4-6-7. It's going to be a clean G3 with a runner on second. And the runner advances. So Nelson, his only play is he goes to first, and Epstein is on third. And here's Bernie Allen, 2 for 2. Here's Williams. Clutch situation. 4-5 left-handed, grounds it to second. And that should end the inning. Again, Nelson for the third ground ball of the inning. Throws it out. and the site is retired. Appreciate your patience today, folks. I'm visiting my mother at hospice. She's in her last days, and my son's picking me up in about a half an hour. I'll continue this ball game at another time. Middle of the fifth, 3-3 ball game. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Frank. It's very nice of you to say that. If there is a God, I'm agnostic. If there is one, let her be with me, and my mother and my family. But then why would she do that for me? I mean, when, so many others suffer. Stay strong, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.